Jai Hind to all. We are covering Trump's plan of mass deportation. Now, this plan will cost 88 US billion dollars a year, according to American Immigration Council estimates. That's nearly twice the budget of the National Institute of Health and 4 times NASA's budget. Now, how would the Congress react? The Fed government reaction? How about the emergency in America? And even the global influence can also not be ignored, and diplomacy associated with it. Now, don't forget the regime of Ms. Sheikh Hasina, where Bangladesh has been suffering from Rohingyas, and she has approached multiple times but was not heard. India, we still can't count the metrics of, we are still stuck with the metrics of 50,000 of Rohingyas. They would have multiplied manifold. Let's go step by step. Trump has suggested he will declare an emergency to use military funds for deportations. Now, Congress will likely have to approve more spending for it, and a bill might require Democratic support to pass the Senate. Now, there are estimated 11 million undocumented immigrants living in the United States. According to 2023 Pew Research Center analysis of available data found that 5% of US households include at least one person who is undocumented. Almost 70% of these households are considered mixed status. Now that means they are made up of unauthorized and unauthorized immigrants as well as US born citizens. About 4.4 million US born children are under 18, live with an unauthorized immigrant parent. Now, questions are on the role of military being used on their own soil. Whether this is appropriate or not, Congress will have to look at these large metrics and other related things. Though people are there in America who feel it's necessary to accomplish this task, with the nuances of its impact on the food industry also, identifying the real illegal immigrants, etc., the process might get slowed down, but given Donald Trump's prior declaration of emergency, it's likely that the process will kick off sooner rather than later. Second, this is Trump 2.0, more strategic, more diplomatic. Now, how will the courts react? Undocumented migrants, they have due process rights also. So their cases typically have to work through the courts. But immigration courts, they have year-long backlogs as well. And Trump's officials want to use arcane laws like the Alien Enemies Act of 1978 to bypass the process. Now that will likely lead to lawsuits similar to those that stifled Trump's first-term immigration policies. Now, Trump has two advantages. The courts, especially the Supreme Court, are friendliner to the conservatives than they were in his first term. The Supreme Court has also ruled that the president has broad powers over immigration. Now, Trump's administration plans to prioritize deporting migrants with criminal records and previous removed orders, estimated to be in the hundreds of thousands. Since many of these individuals, they have had previous ruins with their law enforcement, the Fed government already has their information on file, making it easier to locate and deport them quickly. The next step is less clear, but Trump has expressed also deport undocumented migrants with clean records aside from entering the US illegally. Additionally, he plans to target individuals with temporary protected status TPS, a program allowing migrants from specific countries to stay in the US legally. However, these individuals might be harder to track down, especially in the sanctuary cities and states that refuse to cooperate with Fed deportation efforts. It's worth noting that experts have raised concerns about the logistical and economic challenges of this mass deportation. The American Immigration Council estimates that a one-time mass deportation of all immigrants without legal status would cost around 315 billion US dollars. Given such hurdles, Trump's ambitious plans of mass deportation might not have millions of deportation a year the way he wants, but certainly succeed in deporting more people than President Biden did. The Bush and Obama administration managed to remove 4 lakh people in a year. At their peaks, Biden had deported fewer than 2 lakh most year. Learning to India. What is the learning to India? I do go to manufacturing setup, and most of the time they are not even aware about the migrant workers or the policies associated to it. I'm talking about the SMEs and MSMEs in the manufacturing setup. Now, why and what it is necessary when I talk in the space of manufacturing industry? The wages that are given is as per their respective state ruling or not. If the labor laws are illegal, why the legal workers are getting deprived of the wages, offered higher wages with better benefits to fill these jobs? Now these are both compliance issues and security issues and even regulatory issues. I do observe a lack of awareness in this subject within our entrepreneurs, and lack of even documentation and registration of migrant workers makes it difficult for employers to comply with the labor laws. It's high time to consider such issues with proper understanding of political, security, and even business aspect of it, even in India. Last but not the least, what stops us to take such actions which are just detrimental to the growth of nation? Illegal immigration is a venom to India, and it needs to be sorted ASAP. And yes, YouTube tells us that the videos are watched by non-followers. So kindly follow us and do subscribe to us and let us know about our content, which is primarily based on international relations and geopolitics and its influence on India. Do share and subscribe to us. Jai Hind.